Today we started out by introducing ourselves. We got to know each other. We did a little icebreaker game where we did two truths and a lie just to get everybody comfortable. And then after we introduced everybody, including Juan, Jotty, and also Mr. Michael, or Mr. Matthews, Michael, after we introduced each other and played the icebreaker game, we looked at a couple of videos on Arise Media 360 and also Vimeo. The intro video for C++, we did half of that. We'll do the other half tomorrow, since we will be starting C++ tomorrow. And then we looked at showing them that they have access to the videos 24/7 from the summer, the course that's United in Code, showing the kids how to access that. Not in depth just yet, but showing them that they have access to it 24/7, and just showing them that they can view those videos anytime they want. And then after we looked at those videos, after we looked at the entry video, showing them that they do have access to the videos, and after actually Jotty talked, which was great, by the way, we looked at the final video, which was the prize giveaway from the summer, the end of the summer program. So we looked at Price and Ariana, Ariana getting her Nintendo Switch and Price getting the Xbox in 2K20, just showing them, the new kids and our old kids as well, showing our group that this is something they potentially could win, just showing them the types of prizes we give away and showing them what it's like and what our atmosphere is like for Arise Media 360, our program. So then we did a Flipgrid assignment today just to set the tone so they know that they have assignments. And for those who missed the classes, they can go on Flipgrid as well too, to view the assignments and what we did in class for that day. So we introduced Flipgrid, talked and had a discussion. So Juan and I actually broke up. I had Daniel, Michael, and Damar. Daniel was the more talkative one out of the group. I definitely can tell he is interested in computers and coding and lab just all together. I can tell that's an interest of his. Very responsive. His brother Michael, he chimed in here and there, and it was appreciated. And then after we talked a little, they kind of got a little quiet. So I just encouraged them to know that it's okay to work on their own and do music while they do their Flipgrid if they want to listen to music and do that. That's what that's for. It's meant for discussions, and if they want to sit there and get their work done too, that's great. As long as we're conversing and they're getting work done, I don't mind. So Michael and Daniel got their videos done. Damar has not, so I'll check in with him tomorrow if he shows up tomorrow. We talked about Steve Jobs. Michael brought up Steve Jobs as who is a boss, the answer to that question. And then we talked about Steve Jobs and how do we think he got to where he was how did he make Apple successful, basically? Because I use the example of Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, really just Bill Gates, so because it's a Microsoft owner. We talked about Bill Gates as well and how he was not a good coder and how he delegated and executed regardless of if he knew how to code or not. He got someone that knew how to code and he got it done. So we talked a little about execution and resources. If you don't have those skills, just like searching for them and allocating that to somebody else. So sharpening like the brainstorming, thinking outside the box kind of idea, like just breaking it down into, well, how do we think? How did this process go, essentially? Then we did talk about Jeff Bezos with Amazon, and the same thing, just the same concept of, well, he do you think, well, I did ask the question, do you think that Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, any other entrepreneur or boss, do you think they did it on their own? And what does it take to build that team? What does it, just kind of getting them to get in that mindset. So I reminded them that I want them to think as when they're answering these questions, think as though they are starting their own business. So that when we bring in the coding and the gaming into it, it's like, okay, we could take that and still put that in the game design. Like, okay, you're designing your own game. How are you going to, it's the same concept. How are you going to promote it? What kind of advertisements are you going to do? Are you going to do commercials, social media? So just getting them to get the gears turning on that. DeMar was a little quiet, so again, I'll check in with that. So that's who I had. I did kind of pop in on Juan and his group. Sounded good. They were having a good conversation. I did check Flipgrid, and that's all. We have 4 responses so far. So I'll just get in there tomorrow and make sure, everybody's understanding how that works. And if they're uncomfortable, they don't have to show their face. I'll give them that option too, just so they all get on there and see each other's responses, and it becomes like a little mini social media site. So we went over that. We did talk them through how to work Flipgrid. I'm going to put their emails and give them usernames and all that just to make it a little easier. But for today, I just did the guest password. And I did walk them through that process all together before we broke off. I had everybody in the same room. We, as a collective, sat there. I gave everybody the link for Flipgrid. We showed them how to enter the guest password. We got it done. We did have, that's what it was. We had one kid, Gabriel, whose camera would not work. Even when he hit allow, it just wouldn't work. So I had him grab a parent, and I talked to his mom. We couldn't get it to work, so I sent them an article on troubleshooting for that. If they figure it out, cool. I let them know that either way he can still present on his own. He can make his own video now, or he can present Tuesday, just present it to everybody and discuss it with everybody, because we are going to sit as collective and in our separate groups, older kids and younger kids, and watch everybody's responses and talk about them. Then we're going to build upon it week by week. We're just breaking it down to little concepts of who is a boss? Why are they a boss? What kind of characteristics make a boss? And then what does it take to own a business? So I want them to think about if their product or service, because you can be a musician and still provide a business by going and performing at someone's venue. You're still a business at the end of the day. So I want them to think about things like that. And then what does it take again? Permits, the taxes on it, we'll get there. I want them to start thinking about, when they say money, not just how much you're spending, but not how much, because they're going to think about how much you're making. Not just how much you're making, but how much are you spending as well too, because it takes you putting in money to get money out of something, especially if you're doing it and you can't do it on your own. You need a team, especially when you own a business. So on top of those concepts, I want them next week, what we're going to do, the topic is going to be where is coding. So we break that down too. So we know coding is everywhere. I want them to think about their phone, laptop, street lights, TVs. I want them to think about that. And once they say a certain topic, maybe we could do it this way, whatever they choose. If they say TV, whatever, they can research and then say, well, how does that coding work? And then pick a TV company, for example, like LG. Okay, how did LG advertise their TVs, or Samsung? That's probably more well-known. How did Samsung or LG advertise their TVs? How did the TV end up in your house, essentially? So the product is a TV. How much maybe cost estimate, they might not be able to find that, but maybe how much did it cost on average to make a TV? Labor, because you got to pay the people making it. And then inflation too. So like, I mean, you got to make a profit off of your product. You can't just sell it for the same price, because then that's a waste. That's a loss. Eventually, I do want to talk about P&Ls, or profits and losses. So just building upon that week by week, getting them to tie it into technology, specifically coding and game design with Construct. So the same thing with Construct. When they build their game, how are they going to advertise it? Excuse me. When they build their game, how are they going to advertise it? Are they going to do like YouTube, etc.? Just same concepts, tying them all together. I think that's about it. It was a good first session. Everybody was a little nervous at first, but they kind of warmed up. And I think the more we go on, the more comfortable they'll get. And I'm excited for the other kids to join in as well. We did talk about game jams too. We went over the schedule of Monday being intro to C++, Tuesday being lab, Wednesday being advanced C++, and Thursday being game design with Construct. So we did break that down and explain it to them that they are welcome to join as many as they want, and schedule conflicting or whatever, they can join as little as they want. But we didn't phrase it like that. We just said, take as many as you want. We encourage you to take all the courses. Just letting them know that option is available. So we did break down schedules. We did talk about game jams and how food would be provided. They did ask how that would be done. I said, food will be provided, because we had to keep rolling, so I didn't break it down, because I know we're still figuring that out. But I know we have a game plan. So how showcasing with the game jams, they'll be showcasing what they have learned, and it's their time to shine. I did notify them that we will be streaming on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitch, etc. So that's about all I have for today, February 16th, 2021, Tuesday. But I had fun. I did enjoy today. I was thoroughly excited. Still am excited. I love working with these kids and seeing them be excited to learn and blossom. Seriously, it's amazing to see the growth from day one. Even with the nervous kids, I know eventually they're going to be just out there wanting to jump out, because everybody's having so much fun. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the spring. So that's it.